From CNN, Johnson shuts the door on House votes before September on releasing Epstein files. Now, I found this hard to believe that the actual reason they shut down the House for a month was over Epstein. But literally every outlet is reporting this, and CNN's even saying Speaker Mike Johnson on Monday said he does not plan to allow votes on any measure related to the Epstein case in the House's final week in Washington before a weeks-long recess. Weeks-long. It's till September, 2nd or something?
Yeah. So, I mean, this is a calendar that they've had in place since December of last year, and it has the Senate going through August 1st, but it has the House out July 24th, and that's been in place since December 9th, 2024. So it's not like they just decided. What they did do is they did not decide to actually stick around and get their jobs done and pull some overtime like the rest of us do all the time.
They should have.
Or, I mean, they have a few more days to get through some agenda items. And the argument is they're abandoning even some immigration bills they want to get passed.
Yeah.
And, of course, the corporate press is arguing that it's because they don't want to have to vote on the Epstein files because Massey and Ro Khanna plan to force the issue past leadership with, I forgot what it's called, but 218 votes in the House will get them to the floor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but they're out on Thursday, and they've been planning to be out on Thursday for like 7 months.
You know what, man? Congress is the best job ever. You barely work. You pretend to work. That's the way to do it, especially with the internet these days. Yeah. You just complain online, and then you don't actually do anything, and then you go on a month-long vacation in summer.
And you spend other people's money.
Yeah.
You definitely do that. Did you hear George Santos on Tucker Carlson? I listened to a bunch of that interview because George Santos is surprisingly engaging. He basically just said what you said. He said, Congress, they don't do anything. It's basically like exaggerated high school. It's just all politics and people banging in the storage closet.
That's high school.
Shock me.
Yeah. Basically.
Yeah. And it's interesting, right? Because you would assume that Santos would be up for a pardon.
I think
Santos is a great example of why the Republicans not doing this stuff.
Yeah, they shouldn't have voted him out. That
Not
was
at
the
all.
stupidest, idiotic thing ever.
Speaker Johnson didn't support it, though. That's the good thing about Speaker Johnson is he was very much against all of that. But it was his own Rhino New Yorkers who went for it.
But he wasn't against it enough. He went around telling people to vote their conscience.
Yep.
And that's total trash, telling people to vote their conscience. What he should have done is said, listen, we've got this guy. He's a Republican. You might not like everything he's done with his own campaign finance, but look at half the Democrats who do the exact same stupid thing.
Yeah.
Just keep him in the House. Let's win. Like, why can't they just try winning?
Yeah, and I hear that Speaker Johnson's the one shutting down the potential argument for a pardon for Santos, thinking that it's going to affect Republicans in the midterms, and that's the argument he's trying to make.
Yeah, so he's back to his same
so
trash.
Yeah.
They are.
They're so concerned about the opinion of the New York Times, less so about their own constituents.
Yeah.
You know what? I do think the media trends are going to lead to Democrat control once again, though. Just with like media's shifting towards shorts, which is going to eliminate the long form content. And this allows things like the Very Fine People hoax to become the dominant message. And there's no real way to counter it.
Or like the Don't Say Gay bill. They just.
Right. So the issue is when they lie, to debunk the lie, you need to break down what the bill does to prove it. And that takes a long time. So when they claimed Donald Trump called Nazis very fine people, you'd have to show the full context and explain what Trump was talking about to break that lie. With the heavy shift towards shorts, Instagram stories, Reels, and TikTok, a lot of people aren't consuming fact-based information, and they're going to just be glued to their phones, swiping, having no idea what's really going on in this country. And maybe all they're actually trying to do in the uniparty is just weather the storm. In their mind, big tech will solve this problem. You will have one generation between millennials and Gen X, maybe, one small element that is going to be subversive and attuned to the facts. You get past this, you'll get a bunch of zombies again who will do whatever you say.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I got nothing.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I think it's going to be very interesting. I hope it's not shorts, the future of this country, because I watched some of those quick videos, and it's not very informative. But again, that's what everyone's loving these days. And the algorithm promotes it when it's shorter than 2 minutes. It's
not that they're loving it. It's that the machine is telling people what to love.
Yeah.
So, the trick is for almost all of these platforms, if YouTube decides that you're going to be the big show, you will be. Mm. And there was the example is this van life woman. This is years ago. She made 2 videos and got 3 million subscribers.
Oh, wow.
That's impressive.
Because apparently what had happened is that she found the cheat code keywords in one of her videos. I think the thumbnail was like her in a towel having just showered with her pet snake and living van life, which hit key algorithm points right in the slot, bullseye. So YouTube showed that video to literally everyone. Not literally, but to 50 million people. She gained millions of subs, and it was like, what just happened? And YouTube said, oops, the algorithm made you famous. That's how the machine works. They'll just decide.
Well, now it's an algorithm, but to be honest with you, there's a very similar phenomenon when it comes to like the music industry. If you're a darling in the music industry, then you will get on all of the big tours. You will get on all of the big shows. You will get put into heavy rotation at Sirius and on all the radio stations. That's the way that it's been in the music industry forever. And it doesn't. It really. I mean, to a certain degree, you have to be writing music that people want to hear. But it's marginal. There's a lot of bands out there that are very, very well known and very big that are not writing good music, and it shows in the actual spins they get on apps like Spotify and stuff like that. Like, so the idea that it's unique to YouTube, it's really not. It's something that's kind of always been when it comes to any kind of entertainment, I imagine.
I wonder about this. So I pulled up her channel. It was 1.3. She got 1.3 million subscribers in a week with 2 videos. And she just vanished. And there's a lot of people who do this. 3 years ago, she stopped making content. She was getting 1 million on every video, and it looks like she was only making, she wasn't making that many videos, a few per year, I guess. And so it's just, it is very strange how the media apparatus works right now and where it's going. Honestly, I have no idea. But this format is not going to persist. Absolutely not. All of the big podcasts.
This format.
Yeah, this like the long form 2-hour show is dying out. I mean, Colbert was the old guard version, and we're all laughing at him. But young people now are just on their phone looking at 30-second clips. They're not watching shows like this either.
But they're not even. I mean, yes, they are doing that. And the problem with those clips too, and the way that you scroll, because I'll find myself in like an endless scrolling loop, before I go to bed or something, and it's like you sit down for a minute and look at your phone, and then you look up and it's a half hour later and you're like, damn it, like what did I even look at? And you have no idea.
Yeah.
You watch some guy like take a suitcase and turn it into a chair. You watch like a dance video. Someone told you a better way to do Pilates, and it's like,
Oh yeah, my algorithm
Somebody
on Instagram
makes
is it's pretty awful. It's toxic. I joke about it all the time, but it's women in their 30s getting facelifts, and it's the
oh dear God. Mine is what I said, people assembling furniture.
I'm like looking up like skincare routines, and it's like, get a facelift. No, but it's really bad because even like on certain platforms like YouTube, I just kind of gave up hope on YouTube for my personal content that I was posting, because we stop at like 1,500 followers, and like that's it, subscribers, and that's all you get on my content. I've never been able to master the algorithm on YouTube.
I think YouTube intentionally manipulates the algorithm for political reasons.
Yeah.
The van life story, I think, hit the nail on the head with the hammer. The reason why I think this woman got so many subscribers is that YouTube, behind the scenes, said, we want everyone living in vans and not owning homes. You will live in the pod, you will eat the bugs. And this was 2019 when this happened. This is just before COVID. People were commenting online that they had never looked at this stuff before, and they were getting inundated with van life videos telling them to go live in vans.
Yeah, I remember when that happened to me. Absolutely. I didn't understand why it was happening, but now that makes sense.
Why everyone was getting inundated with this hypnotic suggestion to not have a house and live in a van.
WEF. It's a very powerful group.
And then, you know what happened? These people bought vans, lived in them, and then abandoned them right away because it was miserable. And they were like, that was the stupidest idea I've ever had. I couldn't take a dump anywhere.
It's not awesome to live in a van.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time living in a van, and it is not awesome. As soon as you can get a bus, you will forego pay to get a bus. Like when you're in a van, you'll be like, okay, we could take a van and make good money, or we can get a bus and be comfortable. Bus. Every single time, zero question. Bus.
Yeah, we got the trailer for our mobile shows, and I'm like, I could totally live in this. There's a bedroom, there's a TV, there's a kitchen. It's like a little 1-bedroom apartment. That's nice. But in a van, here's the other problem with all of it is you can't shower or go to the bathroom. Even in the trailers, you're actually tracking where all that water is going. When you shower, you're like, do not use too much. Not only do we have very little, but we got to drain the tank and find somewhere to drain it. And you can't go to the bathroom when it's full. And then, oh God.
That sounds awful.
Yep.
This is why when I was like moving out here, I was like, has to be town sewer.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, septic's fine.
Yeah, I grew up with septic, and there were always issues. There was a leaching field. There was don't run over there because that's where the septic. It was just no, not doing that.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.